year in New York City under my belt.
Do your friends know, or your lovers know, that at some moment they are going to end up in a song?
Yep, it's a tough thing to get involved with a singer-songwriter.
So nothing's private?
Well, yeah, certain things are private. You know, I've written very little about my family, you know, and there's a lot there to write about, but that is the most difficult thing that I grapple with as a writer, because I long ago gave up the idea of my own privacy, you know, because it just didn't serve my work.
But you can decide that. Do others
for
around
myself,
you, for
exactly,
yourself, yeah.
exactly. But
I mean, you have written about your own marriage and that relationship. Does that make it easier to be married or harder?
Oh, it just makes it harder to write. I mean, my relationships are the primary focus of my life. It's just when I sit down to write, I think a lot about what do I have the right to tell in terms of other people in my life. And so when you sign up for a relationship with me, you know, you may find yourself shown in things that, you know, but that is what I grapple with, because I don't have the inherent right to show my loved ones as I do myself.
So will you continue to be so open, or is that sort of, now you see everything, part of your career? Do you find as you get older that maybe there are some things that aren't part of songwriting?
Well, I have found myself in the last few years of my life in the most difficult place I've ever been in my writing, because my personal life has been more of a struggle than it's ever been. My relationship with my partner has been very difficult, and I think that the persona that I chose to live through in my music way back in the day, you know, the first album, that was somewhat more heroic than I can really muster now. And so my writing now is still very personal, but it's much more difficult to show oneself in shame or in regret or in confusion or contradiction or all of these things that I now find I have to write about. And these days on stage, sometimes I just talk myself up into going and showing, even though I've become pretty weary of it recently. Feel a lot like I want to be alone, not on stage caterwauling about.
You were a hero when you were young? Is it?
Well, no. No,
not
certainly
personally,
not.
But as your music?
Yeah, but I think that, looking back, I think that the voice that I wrote with, because I had such a hard time, I have a few more tools now that I've fashioned over the years of, you know, hacking out a little room for myself in the world. But I was raised to smile and be nice and make everyone happy and comfortable. That's my mother in me. So I got walked on a lot, you know, and so when I began to write songs, you know, the inherent feminism and the inherent heroism of that young woman writing, it was about reconstructing my life through song and through work. And, you know, I found that first verse is what happened, you know, second verse is what I did, and third verse is what I'm going to do next time. And now I find I can write a whole song without ever having a heroic moment or a transcendence. And there's a new voice that I'm struggling to use, which is, you know, this is what happened again. This is what I did again. And this is how dark it makes me feel, you know.
Is that 31?
I hope it's not 41. you know.
But do
yeah.
you think that's what it is? That,
Yes.
that you're getting older and
Oh, yeah.
life is more complex than
Yeah.
you thought when you were 19?
Absolutely.
It's singing sometimes like my life is at stake, 'cause you're only as loud as the noises you make.